Hello there! Today we're going to be discussing one of the most annoying tasks in Excel, which is dealing with external links, especially when you're not the one who created them. In today's video, I will show you 4 techniques which will allow you to find and control around 99% of your external links. But before jumping to solution, let's try to formulate the problem.
Let's imagine we have a main file and let's create a link to another file. This is a second file. You will always see this linked file line at the top. So now if you open the formula, you will see that there is a link to a different document. In order to find information about the available links in your document to other documents, you need to go to the main ribbon, go to the data section, and in data section you have this section, queries and connections, and here you see the button edit links. In the pop-up window, as you can see, we have link to one document, link 1. This is exactly the link which we have just created. What are the operations which we can perform with it? First of all, we can update the values, we can change the source to another file, we can open the source, we can break the link, or we can check the status.
Now we're ready to understand the problem. The issue is that we know that there are external links to certain documents in our file, but we don't know where they are. And as a result, without knowing what is linked to what, we cannot ensure that our file is working properly. It's something similar to when you see that there is a tire pressure issue in your car. You know there is an issue, but you don't know which wheel is a problem. Let's see how can we approach this issue.
The first and the easiest case is when you have the links in the formulas. How can we find these links? In this case, we can go through the whole document in one shot. We need to use the tool Find and Replace, which could be used by using the hotkey Ctrl F. In the main menu, you need to put the Options button. In the first drop-down list, you need to choose the whole workbook. And the second one by rows, if it's okay, and look in Formulas. And as a search parameter, you need to put .excel.
The extension of Excel documents usually starts with X and L. There are different options such as XLSB, XLSM. If you want to understand better what is the difference, let me know in the comments.
And then you put the button Find All. As you can see here, you have a lot of valuable information, such as which cells in your document are linked to external data and to which cells in the linked document they're connected to.
Time to go to step number 2. Which is dealing with Excel objects.
So, as you can see, my starting point is that I don't have any links to external documents. Let's now create this link and let's see how can we find them. Okay, so let's take as an example 2 simple rectangle forms, and the first one we will just put the name sales. With the second rectangle, we will choose a bit different approach. So we select the object, go to formula bar, put equal, jump to another document and select this cell, for instance. As you can see, visually they're the same, but this element does contain the link to external document and this one doesn't. If you now go back to the Data tab, you will see that Edit Links button is active, and if you push it, you will see that there is a link. Let's see how to find these links when we already have a document. For this, we will use the tool Go to Special. So you need to push the hotkey Ctrl+G and you select the Special button. In this menu, you select only one element, which is Objects. It will select all the objects which you have. Unfortunately, there is no way to select these elements for the whole workbook, so you will need to do the separation for each tab one by one. Now by pushing Tab button, you will be able to jump one by one through them, and what you need to do is to pay attention to the Formula tab. So if you put Tab one time, our first element will be selected and we already know that there is no link in it. If you push the Tab button once again, you will see that there is a link there. So now you can decide what you want to do with it, clean it or keep it.
Usually you don't have that many objects in Excel document, so this approach shall allow you to go through them relatively quickly. And the next step in our cleaning process is dealing with Excel charts.
And let's follow the same approach as with the previous example. We'll create the link and then we'll see how to find it. Okay, so we'll go to external document and there is a chart which I created here, which is sourcing the information from the external file. Let's copy it to our main document, save the file. Now we do have a link in this file. If we use the same trick as we used in the previous step, we use Go To, then we go to Special, we select the objects. Yes, we will find this element. However, in the formula menu, we will see nothing, so we may get the false impression that this object doesn't contain the links. When you deal with charts, this is not sufficient and you need to go a bit deeper. You go to Chart Design tab, you go to Select Data, and as you can see, there is a link here. Sometimes you need to go one by one through all the series to understand whether there is a link inside or not.
So what can we learn from this step? Very simple thing. Whenever you create a chart, always link it to the data stored in this file. Otherwise, you might face an issue when you need to clean the charts from external links.
And the last element is the defined names. Let's create a random name. Let's select a few cells and let's call it the test name. Now, if you go to Ribbon, Formulas tab, Name Manager, you will see the name. Let's now change it and link it to the external file. We clean this here, put equal, and let's jump to another file. And we select, for example, these elements. Push Enter. Now if you go to Formula tab, Name Manager, you will see a defined name which is linked to the external data.
And now I get into step number 4, which is essentially entering the dark territory of Excel. We're talking about the hidden elements. Unfortunately, we will need to use macros. If you don't understand the macros, don't worry. Step number 1 is saving your working file in XLSM format. And step number 2 is simply copy the code of the macros from this video.
So in order to run the macros, you need to put Alt F11. You can put the video on pause and simply copy the text. This macros unveils all the hidden elements. Let's first of all change this parameter to false in order to hide all the elements. We'll put run, close the macros. Now if you go to the same menu, name manager, you will see that there is nothing, even though we know that there is a clearly defined name which is linked to external document. In order to unveil this, we need to go again to the macros menu. Again, it's Alt F11, change this parameter to true and run it once again. Now if we go to name manager, we will see that here is the link to our document.
4 steps, but it wasn't that hard. If you know more advices on how to find the external links in your document, let me know in the comments. With that, I want to conclude. Thank you and see you in the next one.